keynote address, a session that promises sharp insights and real world strategy from one of India's most trusted brands. The session is titled Marketing Financial Confidence: How Storytelling, Data, and Design Drive the New BFSI Consumer. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Rajiv Gupta, President, PB Fintech, Policybazaar, Paisabazaar. Round of applause.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Srikanth laid out, the session for the day, very clearly. I think Srikanth, you spoke about trust. I must confess that today we come from an insurance industry. We also run a lending platform. One of the biggest challenges we face as far as insurance sector is concerned, continues to remain, trust. If we are in single-digit penetration today, and we are talking about 2047 Viksit Bharat, where we want insurance for all. Three challenges will have to be addressed over the next 2 decades. Obviously, financial literacy. How can we reach out to every nook and corner of this country and create that literacy so that people are aware on why they should deal with banks, why should they buy their insurance, what is mutual fund. Very simple things. They live hand to mouth. Obviously, for them, this is not a priority. And somewhere this has to be put in effort. Second is the trust deficit, which is big in this industry today. In spite of so many banks, in spite of so many insurance companies, in spite of Policybazaar's existence over the last, 17 years, we have spent 400 crores on promoting insurance over every year, And I can tell you trust deficit continues to be a big factor. And that is something which we will have to address over the next 2 decades in a very big way. And last but not the least is how do we build awareness? What kind of problems people will face if they don't plan their finances very well. Just to give you a little statistics, while we are very proud of our young population today, one of the biggest challenges we are going to face in 2047 is 70 crore senior citizens. Out of 200 crores we will have by then. Today we have 150 crore people. 80% of the senior citizens don't have an income plan, don't have a health insurance as of today. Imagine the same scenario continues 2047 when we are talking about Viksit Bharat. Imagine the social impact this will create on this country. So I just thought I'd leave this thought with all of you before we get into the actual session. So good morning once again, and thank you afaqs and Bank 360 for inviting me to be a part of this session. Certainly, we meet at a point, pivotal point where BFSI, where trust is certainly a new currency, I would say, and consumer has now become the CEO of every decision, right? And that's the way we have seen things evolving over a period of time. So obviously, we come today to get together to speak on how storytelling, data, design drive the new BFSI consumer. Does it work? So I think if you were to summarize, I would say today's consumer is less loyal to brands and more loyal to experiences. Even a brand like Policybazaar, which is probably reasonably known today in the industry, we realize that when a customer wants to buy insurance, he wants to also have the experience at the time of claims, right? So over the last many years, we have built a huge claims team which is there on the field in most cities and towns today, where they try and reach the hospital or the garage even before the customer reaches there. Now, why are we doing this? Because we believe that the trust and the confidence in buying a product will only come from when the actual purpose of insurance is served better, right? Over these many years, people realize that I buy insurance, but when it comes to claim settlement, I'm made to run around. And that is happening even today, trust me, right? When you go to hospitals, you have a health insurance, people say that this is not payable and that is not payable. So to address that experience, we have invented something called preferred garages, and network of people who are there. You see all our ads, we only advertise about health insurance and term insurance, right? So we believe that consumers are very digitally mature today, right? They are value conscious and they are impatient. They don't want to wait. One day of delay, you can find a post on the social media criticizing, any brand, saying that this brand is of no use, please don't buy this brand ever. And that's the unfortunate problem. Social media can take you places and social media can bring you down overnight. In spite of doing what we are doing, trust me, we handle multiple social media posts even today, right? So that is the challenge. We want to ensure that he feels that he's able to control, his decisions. Trust is certainly, gained through experiences, and we have noticed that significantly. Out of 100 customers, I remember 5 or 6 customers used to buy a policy just about 6-7 years ago. Today, that number is a double-digit number. And I would say the significant contribution has come from all the services which we have introduced in the system, where we believe the consumer is experiencing us. He feels that though Policybazaar is not sold its policy, it's a digital platform, we encourage our customers to come to us and we will handle their claims. And that is supporting us through word of mouth. And that is a long way to go. And we believe that as we move ahead, that is what is going to make the difference for us. So in BFSI, right, we don't sell loans, we don't sell policies, we don't sell accounts, we sell confidence, right? That someone's money is safe, their decisions are sound, and their future is protected. Every financial product we sell is very emotional, right? If you sell a home loan, it's a very emotional decision. A family buys a home once in a lifetime, leaving aside the very rich people, right? And for them, that experience of getting their loan on time, getting their house on time is very emotional. Anything you do wrong there, can ensure it affects your brand very badly, and all your other products will become very difficult to sell. SIP is an aspiration, right? Somebody wants to build wealth. So that's why he is investing in SIP. So obviously, when we sell SIP, we say that average returns are X, Y, Z. So when we manage their money, people will experience how good was the brand to us, was it meeting my aspirations. Similarly, a policy is a reassurance, right? So in essence, we create long-term trust and adoption for the customer. And that is very crucial if you have to survive. So what do we do next? Where does the confidence begin? It begins through storytelling, right? Always, right? So today, content must also act like a service, right? Finance becomes meaningful when we humanize it. Always people say insurance policies are a very complex document. Nobody reads it. The terms and conditions in any loan agreement, nobody reads it. So when a customer is told this is not part of the policy, or this is not part of the agreement, he gets hurt. Because at the time of selling, your agent, your distributor, or your branch doesn't take the pain or effort to explain what needs to be explained to the customer in a summary form. And that is why today there are companies who are running a business where they create a summary out of a policy document so the customer is aware what is good or bad for him, right? But that has to be done by the brand. Why create another brand to create the document? So why can't we? So from storytelling, you can't do just big campaigns and think that consumer will come to you. It should be short stories. It should be real voices. It should be testimonials from customers of what their experiences have been. So people will trust what they understand. If we can simplify everything, we amplify trust. And that's the way, the world functions today, right? Storytelling is just one part. Today, content also must act like a service. How do we, ensure that content acts like a service today, People want clarity on everything they buy. Especially in insurance, we have now started ensuring that we tell them what is not covered. What are the add-ons you should take to ensure that you don't get deductions on consumables when you go and actually get hospitalized? Very often people say that your bill is 2 lakhs, insurance company has sanctioned 1,40,000, 60,000 you have to pay. And that includes consumables, and this is not included, and that is not included, right? if that is told upfront, and you give a choice to the consumer even to protect those. You've heard about zero dep when you buy your car, right? Not many, are aware of zero depreciation. So if they buy zero depreciation, obviously the money they pay out of their pockets is much lesser, So consumers reward brands that teach them how to plan, how to evaluate, and how to avoid pitfalls. Content becomes a form of reassurance. In the sense, consumers should know that I was told everything and I'm very comfortable. Whatever the company told me, everything is happening correct. And that is how you're able to create more markets, build more brands. The next big thing is, of course, data, right? How do we ensure that, from insight to foresight? Data is one BFSI's biggest advantages, right? If you use responsibly. Today, we deal with 15 lakh customers who call us every day, connect with us every day. Trust me, both outgoing and incoming calls. And sometimes the number is as high as 20 lakhs. Without technology, we wouldn't have been able to, handle those customers or understand what exactly they want, right? And we use that data very effectively to customize what consumers wanted. Why do only 15 people buy out of 100 and the 85 walk out? There could be a large number of people who don't want to deal digitally. There are large consumers, even today, they want a physical face to come to them, meet them, and talk to them. But there are a lot of brands who do not create products which are customized for different segments of consumers. The Gen Z, the middle age, the old age, people who can't afford a large premium, they want a smaller premium covering 80% of what they want to look for. So all that is very crucial. Instead of telling what can I sell you, you should say what milestones are you approaching in your life. If you're taking a home loan, or if you're taking, if you're investing in a SIP, what is your milestone? Is the milestone to educate your children who are growing up and you need money at that stage? Is it going to be marriage in your family? Is it going to be buying a house 20 years from now? So if you can address a milestone, I think that becomes far more easier, right? You should understand the behavioral signals both by engaging with the customer so that you are able to create, predictively and not reactively. So personalization, of course, is very key. And I think personalization must feel like a service, not like surveillance, right? Consent first, design is critical, Intent-driven segmentation helps us read behavior, not profile people. If done responsibly, personalization becomes a trust multiplier. We have seen that. This brings us to, how we create products. For example, pay as you drive is one of the innovations in the insurance industry, right? That's because people said that I don't drive my car much. There is somebody else who's driving the car rashly. There's somebody else who's driving 20,000 kilometers a month, and I drive 1,000 kilometers for a month, and I pay the same price. So a lot of personalized products will start coming out when you start creating products based on experiences of the customers when they share with you, right? So similarly, personalization will happen everywhere. Now, we have started a company called PB Health recently. Now, PB Health, the aim is to create 200 bedded hospitals across this country. And we are starting with tier 1 cities first, followed by tier 2, tier 3. Eventually, we'll build 1,000 hospitals over the next decade, right? Now, what is the objective behind building hospitals? We are a financial services company. We are not going to compete with multi-speciality hospitals or super specialty hospitals. Our intent is, can we own the last mile and ensure that the customer's experience is as good? In fact, we are going to discourage hospitalization through our hospitals. Sounds, why are we setting up hospitals if we are going to discourage hospitals, right? The idea is unnecessary hospitalization in this country. As soon as somebody walks in, putting him through various tests, hospitalize him and create a 1 lakh bill over the next 2 days, has created an issue, both with the consumer and both with insurance companies. Companies are making losses today. If they settle all the claims in this country, no company will exist. That's because we are one of the lowest priced countries, right, as far as insurance is concerned. So somewhere the idea is, what can we do to bring personalization in this country, right? The real ROI in BFSI is return on integrity. How can people start trusting you very much, right? Now design. When we say design, what do we design? Great design is not decoration, it's simplification. Every click, every form, every disclosure either builds trust or erodes it. When storytelling, data, and design work together, something powerful happens, right? And that is where we say story plus data plus design is equal to confidence engineering. The real breakthrough happens when storytelling, data, and design work together. Imagine, a personal nudge leading to a simple visual explanation, ending in a frictionless journey, That is confidence engineering, right? And that's the new frontier of BFSI marketing. Customers today start looking at unified experience, real-time journeys. So what do best BFSI brands do to create this level of confidence? We educate first, sell later. So I spoke about financial literacy in the beginning, right? We have taken a task that every village, every taluka in this district, I was telling the finance minister in a roundtable about a couple of months back, that everybody in the ecosystem, banks, insurance companies, mutual funds, pharmaceutical companies, pharmaceutical shops, hospitals, should start talking in the local language, create, videos, small videos in the local languages, where people are, taught about what is financial literacy. People don't understand. There are substantial number of people who get back to poverty line just because they don't have a health insurance. All their savings get eroded with one incident in the family. People work all their, life, but when they turn 60, when they retire, they don't know what to do. With joint family system in the country eroding, and they don't having a planned income plan, people suffer. And that is what we all should, start working towards as an ecosystem, as a financial services, ecosystem. All of us are present here from banks, mutual funds, and insurance companies. I think that is very important, right? So India's financial confidence revolution is certainly, visible, right? Fastest growing fintech ecosystem in this country. You've seen companies like Policybazaar, Paisabazaar, many such, Siroda, you've seen Grow, you've seen a lot of other companies, right? Which are evolving. Today we have a very young population, youngest financially aware population. The Gen Z, the next stage of Gen Z, all people are aware. You can't fool people anymore, right? People are aware. So on one side, we have a big issue to address, the 60 crore population who don't understand things, where literacy is very important, where you have to do. But the other side, where we are selling today, are educated customers, right? So next frontier of BFSI is not scale, it is confidence at scale. I think that's very clear, right? Tech-led trust and rising financial literacy is very, very crucial if we have to move forward in this ecosystem. And we believe if tomorrow we have to be 5x of what we are today, we do about 25,000 crores of premium every year, and we do about 30,000 crores of lending. We have given free credit scores to the extent of 7.5 crores. So 7.5 crores people have availed free credit score systems from us, and out of which a substantial number have been able to improve their credit score because they wanted knowledge on how to go about doing it. Very small reasons their scores were down, right? So we've been helping people there as well. What has all this done to us? It has only given us business. So while we say we have done it free of cost, but people have come back because they've trusted a brand which has educated them, which has helped them to grow, right? And that is what people do. They reward you back. And that is how the company has been growing year after year. So I think I'll summarize by saying that humanize through powerful storytelling, personalize through ethical data, simplify through intuitive design, deliver experiences that earn trust. And let me close with one line that captures everything we have discussed. We don't build markets by selling products. We build markets by building confidence. This is our responsibility as marketeers, storytellers, technologists, and leaders. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sparing your valuable time. Thank you.